Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the life you're living doesn't actually belong to you. It belongs to the expectations of your family, the opinions of your friends, the judgments of strangers, and the fears you've carried for years. Think about it. How many times have you silenced your own voice just to keep the peace? How many times have you said yes when every part of you was screaming no? How many times have you shrunk yourself so others could feel comfortable? The truth is, most people don't even notice when you give pieces of yourself away. But you notice, you feel it deep down. You know when you've abandoned yourself. And that quiet ache inside, that's the sound of a life unlived. We've all been there, standing in a room full of people, smiling, nodding, pretending everything is fine, when inside we are screaming for more courage, more respect, more freedom. But here's the thing, nobody is going to hand you that freedom. Nobody is going to show up and rescue you from the weight of other people's opinions. You have to take it. You have to decide that enough is enough. You have to draw the line and declare, this is my life, and I'm going to live it on my terms. Because if you don't, years will pass, and you'll wake up wondering where your time went, wondering why you feel like a stranger in your own story. Life is not about waiting for the right moment or waiting for someone else to give you permission. Life is about stepping into the driver's seat, even when you're scared, even when your voice shakes, even when you're unsure of what's ahead. The truth is, standing up for yourself is not about being aggressive or loud. It's about reclaiming the dignity and power that have always been yours. It's about refusing to be invisible in your own life. And once you begin to stand tall, once you start honoring your worth, everything shifts. People see you differently, opportunities meet you differently, and most importantly, you see yourself differently. So let me ask you this, how much longer will you wait? How much longer will you tolerate living small, being silent, or letting others dictate who you should be? The moment you decide to stand up for yourself is the moment your real life begins. You have to decide right here and right now that no one gets to define you. Not your family, not your friends, not your boss, not society. Too many people are living small because they've handed over the pen that writes their story to someone else. You're not here to be someone's puppet. You're not here to fit neatly into a box that others have built for you. You're here to live a life that is fully yours. And the moment you start letting other people's opinions weigh more than your own voice, you have already surrendered your power. Do you know why so many people feel stuck? It's not because they lack intelligence. It's not because they lack talent. It's because they keep waiting for someone else to tell them who they are. They wait for approval before they move, before they speak, before they even dream. And every single time you do that, you chip away at your worth. You make yourself smaller, weaker, quieter. You allow yourself to become defined by standards you never agreed to in the first place. Think about it. From the time you were a child, people tried to tell you who you were supposed to be. They told you what kind of person you should become, what job would make you successful, what behavior made you acceptable. And maybe, just maybe, you started to believe it. But let me ask you this. How can anyone else possibly know the full measure of who you are? How can someone else carry the map to a life they're not living? They can't. The only person who can define you is you. When you know your worth, you stop chasing people who refuse to see it. You stop begging for validation from those who have no idea what it costs you to be where you are today. You stop trying to prove yourself to those who are committed to misunderstanding you. Knowing your worth means you walk into every room with the quiet understanding that you belong there, whether anyone acknowledges it or not. It means you don't lower your standards to accommodate someone else's comfort. It means you choose your life rather than living a life that was chosen for you. But here's the truth. Knowing your worth isn't about arrogance. It's about awareness. It's about knowing what you bring to the table and refusing to shrink just because others can't handle it. Too often people confuse humility with invisibility. They think being humble means you should dim your light. No. Being humble means you understand your value without needing to shout about it. It means you stand tall even when no one applauds, because your worth was never up for debate in the first place. The dangerous thing about letting others define you is that their definitions are often rooted in their own fears, limitations, and insecurities. When people tell you, you can't, what they really mean is, I can't. when they say that's impossible, what they're actually revealing is that it's impossible for them. Too many of you are carrying the weight of limitations that don't even belong to you. You're trapped in cages that someone else built out of their own doubts. And if you don't wake up, you'll live your entire life proving them right. Knowing your worth is not about fighting the whole world. It's about refusing to fight yourself. It's about refusing to silence that voice inside that tells you there's more. You were made for more. Every time you ignore that voice to keep other people comfortable, you betray yourself. You betray the very reason you're here. And let me tell you something, betrayal hurts most when it comes from within. The pain of letting yourself down is greater than any rejection you could face from others. This is why standing up for yourself starts with knowing your worth. Because when you know your worth, you no longer accept disrespect disguised as love. You no longer accept being overlooked as if your time, your energy, your presence has no value. You no longer remain silent when your voice is the very thing that could change your life. Instead, you learn to walk away from places, people, and situations that demand you become less just to stay. You start to understand that protecting your worth sometimes means losing people who never truly valued you in the first place. And yes, that's hard. It's hard because we all want to belong. We all want to be accepted. But here's the harsh reality. Belonging at the cost of your self-worth is not belonging at all. It's bondage. You don't want to wake up 10 years from now realizing you traded the best of yourself for crumbs of approval that never satisfied you. Anyway, you don't want to look back and realize you silenced yourself into invisibility just to avoid rocking the boat. Your worth is not negotiable. And the sooner you realize that, the freer you become. Knowing your worth changes everything. It changes how you walk. It changes how you talk. It changes what you tolerate. When you know your worth, you stop begging for respect because you command it by the way you carry yourself. When you know your worth, you stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. When you know your worth, you don't chase opportunities, you create them. So stop letting people define you. Stop giving away your identity for free. The world doesn't get to decide who you are. They can call you too much, too loud, too ambitious, too strong, too whatever. Let them talk. That's their story. Your story is yours to write. And if you don't know where to begin, start here. Tell yourself every single day, I am enough. I am worthy. I am capable. And I will no longer let anyone else write my narrative. Because at the end of your life, you're not going to be judged by the opinions people had of you. You'll be judged by whether you lived true to yourself. And the only way to do that is to stand up, claim your worth, and stop letting anyone else define the life that was meant to be yours. There comes a moment in life where you realize people will only treat you the way you allow them to. Every time you tolerate disrespect, every time you say yes when you mean no, every time you let someone take from you without giving back, you are teaching them how to treat you. And the truth is, if you don't set boundaries, the world will set them for you. And those boundaries will never be in your favor. Boundaries are not laws. They are not about shutting people out. Boundaries are lines that define where you end and where someone else begins. They are how you protect your energy, your time, your values, your very sanity. Without boundaries, you will spend your life being pulled in 1,000 directions, never truly living for yourself. So many people are afraid to set boundaries because they think it will make them look cold, selfish, or unkind. But listen carefully. Boundaries are not about being unkind. They are about being clear. They are about saying, this is what I will allow in my life, and this is what I will not. You don't apologize for locking the front door of your home, do you? You don't feel guilty for protecting your house, your family, your belongings. So why do you feel guilty for protecting your peace, your dignity, your worth? Boundaries are the locks on the doors of your life. Without them, anyone can walk in, take what they want, and leave you empty. The truth is, the people who benefit from you having no boundaries are the ones who will complain the loudest when you finally set them. Think about that. The moment you start saying no, the moment you stop letting them drain you, manipulate you, or take advantage of you, they'll accuse you of changing. But you're not changing. You're waking up. You're realizing that your time is limited, your energy is precious, and your life cannot be given away to anyone who demands it without earning it. And yes, some people will leave when you set boundaries. Let them, because the ones who truly value you will respect your boundaries, not resent them. Setting boundaries means you stop over-explaining yourself. You stop feeling like you owe everyone a detailed justification for why you said no. No is a complete sentence. It requires no excuses, no apologies, no negotiation. And yet, many people struggle with this simple word because they've been conditioned to believe their value comes from pleasing others. They think if they say no, they'll lose love, approval, or acceptance. But if someone's love for you depends on your compliance, that's not love, it's control, and you are not here to be controlled. Without boundaries, you will burn out. You'll spend all your time meeting everyone else's expectations while abandoning your own needs. You'll become exhausted, resentful, and empty. You'll start asking yourself, why does no one appreciate me? Why does no one show up for me the way I show up for them? The answer is simple. Because you never taught them to. You kept giving without limits, so they assumed you had no limits. You kept saying yes, so they stopped believing you had the right to say no. That's not their fault, that's yours. But the moment you recognize it, you can take back control. Boundaries are not about punishing others, they are about respecting yourself. When you say, I will not answer calls after this time because I need rest, you're not being difficult, you're being disciplined. When you say, I will not engage in conversations that tear me down, you're not being sensitive, you're being strong. When you say, I will not give my time to people who constantly drain me, you're not being harsh, you're being wise. Boundaries are the proof that you respect yourself enough to protect yourself. But understand this, boundaries are tested. The moment you draw a line, people will push against it to see if you mean it. If you back down, if you compromise just to avoid conflict, you've taught them your boundaries were never real. Boundaries only work if you enforce them consistently and unapologetically. You can't set a boundary and then tear it down every time someone complains. You can't declare your worth and then surrender it at the first sign of resistance. You must be firm, even when it's uncomfortable. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Setting boundaries forces you to confront the fear of rejection, the fear of being disliked, the fear of standing alone. But here's the thing, you'd rather stand alone in your truth than be surrounded by people who only love the version of you that has no backbone. You'd rather lose people who never respected you than lose yourself by constantly betraying your own needs. Boundaries are not about building a smaller life. They are about creating space for a bigger one. When you stop giving your energy away to the wrong things, you finally have the energy for the right things. When you stop saying yes to people who drain you, you have the capacity to say yes to opportunities that grow you. When you stop tolerating behavior that disrespects you, you raise the standard for the relationships you allow into your life. Your boundaries don't keep love out, they keep toxic patterns out, so that real love can come in. So, stop apologizing for protecting yourself. Stop feeling guilty for saying no. Stop being afraid of who might leave when you finally decide to value yourself. Because the truth is, the people who are meant to stay in your life will never require you to betray yourself in order to keep them. They will honor your boundaries because they honor you. And those who don't, let them go. Their exit is not your loss, it's your liberation. Boundaries are the ultimate act of self-respect. They tell the world, this is my space, my time, my energy, my worth, and I'm no longer giving it away for free. The day you start setting boundaries without apology is the day you take back your power. And once you do, you'll wonder why you ever lived without them. There's a hard truth that most people don't want to hear. No one is coming to save you. Not your parents, not your friends, not your partner, not your boss, not society, not the government. No one. And the sooner you accept this truth, the sooner you free yourself. Too many people sit around waiting for someone to rescue them from their circumstances. They wait for the perfect opportunity, for the right person, for the magical break that will turn their life around. But life does not hand you rescue missions. It hands you responsibility. And if you keep waiting for a savior, you'll waste your entire life standing still while the world moves on without you. Taking ownership of your life means recognizing that everything you want, every dream, every goal, every breakthrough starts and ends with you. It's not about blaming others, and it's not about blaming yourself. It's about taking radical responsibility for your choices, your actions, and your results. When you take ownership, you stop making excuses. You stop saying, I can't because of this, I can't because of that. You start saying, I will, no matter what it takes. Ownership shifts your mindset from victim to leader, from powerless to powerful. The truth is, it's easy to blame other people for where you are. It's easy to point the finger at your upbringing, your lack of resources, your environment, or the people who wronged you. But blame does nothing to change your situation. Blame keeps you chained to the past. Responsibility, on the other hand, sets you free. When you say, yes, this happened to me, but I'm responsible for what I do next, you reclaim your power. You're no longer waiting for the world to give you permission to live. You're taking it for yourself. No one is coming to make you disciplined. No one is coming to force you out of bed in the morning to chase your goals. No one is coming to silence your fears, build your confidence, or make you believe in yourself. That's on you. People can guide you. People can inspire you. People can support you. But at the end of the day, you are the one who has to put in the work. You are the one who has to do the heavy lifting. Too many people mistake guidance for salvation. They think if they just find the right mentor, the right relationship, the right job, everything will magically fall into place. But if you don't take ownership, even the best opportunities will slip through your hands. Taking ownership also means facing the uncomfortable reality that your life right now is a reflection of the choices you've made. That doesn't mean everything that happened to you is your fault, but how you responded, how you showed up, how you chose to continue, that's on you. Did you stay in situations you knew were beneath you? Did you ignore the voice inside that told you to do more, be more, demand more? Did you hand over control of your life to other people because it felt easier than taking responsibility? These are questions only you can answer. But here's the good news. If your choices got you here, then your choices can get you somewhere better. That's power. When you take ownership, you stop waiting for life to happen. You start making life happen. You stop saying, I wish, and you start saying, I will. You stop living reactively, waiting for circumstances to dictate your direction. And you start living proactively, creating the path you want to walk. Ownership is not about controlling everything. It's about controlling yourself. You can't control other people. You can't control the past. You can't control every event in your life. But you can control your mindset, your effort, your decisions, and your response. And that is more than enough to change your life. Of course, ownership is not easy, because once you claim it, you can't hide behind excuses anymore. You can't say, it's someone else's fault. You can't play the victim card. Ownership forces you to stand in the mirror and say, if I want change, I have to create it. That's a hard pill to swallow for people who have gotten comfortable in blame, in excuses, in self-pity. But comfort never created greatness. Comfort never built leaders. Comfort never transformed a life. Responsibility did. Ownership did. When you stop waiting for someone to save you, you become unstoppable. You stop needing permission. You stop begging for validation. You stop depending on others to make decisions for you. You start moving, and with every step, you build confidence. You start realizing that you don't need a rescuer, because you are your own rescuer. You are your own leader. And when you take ownership of your life, people notice. They see the strength in your eyes, the conviction in your voice, the determination in your actions. Leadership begins with leading yourself, and that inspires others more than anything else ever could. So stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for someone to give you the green light. Stop waiting for someone to believe in you more than you believe in yourself. No one is coming to hand you your life. No one is coming to fight your battles for you. No one is coming to write your story. That's your job. That's your responsibility. That's your power. The day you take ownership is the day everything changes. Because suddenly, you're not a victim of your circumstances. You're the author of your destiny. And authors don't wait for the story to be written. They pick up the pen and write it themselves. Fear is the invisible cage that keeps most people from ever living the life they truly want. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being misunderstood. These fears wrap around you like chains, and before you know it, you're living small. You silence yourself because you're worried about how someone else might react. You hold back because you don't want to offend. You shrink your dreams because you're terrified someone will laugh at you. But here's the truth. Every time you let fear silence you, you betray yourself. And betrayal that comes from within cuts deeper than anything else. Your voice matters. Your truth matters. What you believe, what you think, what you feel, what you stand for, it matters. Yet so many people go through life never speaking up. They swallow their words, they water down their opinions, they conform to whatever's popular because they don't want to rock the boat. And here's the harsh reality. The boat was never meant to stay still. Life is movement, growth, evolution. If you're not rocking the boat, you're probably sitting in someone else's. And that means you're not living your life. You're living theirs. Speaking your truth doesn't mean you're loud, aggressive, or confrontational. It means you are honest. It means you stop lying to yourself just to keep others comfortable. It means you stand up and say, this is who I am. This is what I believe. This is what I need. And I will not apologize for it. That kind of courage is rare because it comes with a cost. Not everyone will like your truth. Not everyone will accept it. Some people will walk away. But let them walk, because the price of silencing yourself is far greater than the price of losing people who never valued your honesty to begin with. Fear will always whisper in your ear. It will tell you, keep quiet, don't say anything, don't take the risk, don't put yourself out there. Fear thrives on hesitation. The longer you listen to it, the louder it gets. But courage isn't about eliminating fear. It's about moving forward, even while fear is screaming. Courage is saying what needs to be said, even when your voice shakes. Courage is taking the leap, even when your knees tremble. Courage is refusing to let fear have the final say in your life. You cannot lead a life of freedom if you are imprisoned by fear. And you cannot lead others if you cannot even lead yourself out of silence. People admire strength, but they follow authenticity. They follow those who are bold enough to be real, even when it costs them. Every great leader, every great change maker, every great success story came from someone who dared to speak their truth. And do you know what separates them from everyone else? It's not that they didn't feel fear. It's that they didn't let fear silence them. When you silence fear and speak your truth, you reclaim your power. You stop waiting for permission to exist. You stop filtering yourself just to be acceptable. You stop abandoning yourself just to keep the peace. Because let's be honest, peace built on self-betrayal is not peace, it's poison. It eats at you slowly, making you resentful, bitter, and empty. You start to feel invisible. Not because others don't see you, but because you no longer see yourself. That's what happens when you silence your truth. You disappear from your own life. But when you choose to speak, when you choose to stand tall, something shifts. At first, it's terrifying. Your voice cracks, your hands shake, your heart races. But then you realize you didn't die. The world didn't end. You spoke and you survived. And that's when you discover the secret. Fear is a liar. It tells you stories of disaster, humiliation, and rejection to keep you paralyzed. But the moment you act despite it, you strip it of its power. Fear only controls you when you believe it. When you challenge it, when you speak in spite of it, fear shrinks. And here's the beautiful part. Every time you silence fear and speak your truth, you inspire others to do the same. You give people permission to be real, to be authentic, to stop hiding. Courage is contagious. Your voice might be the one that breaks someone else's silence. And that's how change happens. Not through perfection, not through popularity, but through honesty. Don't get me wrong, speaking your truth will cost you. Some people will walk away, some will criticize, some will label you difficult, too much, too opinionated, too bold. But remember this, the people who cannot handle your truth are not meant to handle your destiny. The ones who stay, the ones who respect you, the ones who stand with you even when you stand alone, those are your people. and you will never find them if you keep pretending to be someone you're not. So stop waiting until you're fearless. That day will never come. Fear is part of the journey. Stop waiting until everyone agrees with you. That will never happen. Stop waiting until the timing is perfect. Perfect timing is a myth. Speak now, act now, live now, because your truth matters and the world needs it. At the end of your life, you won't regret the times you spoke your truth. You'll regret the times you stayed silent when it mattered most. You'll regret the times you let fear win. You'll regret the moments you chose comfort over courage. Don't let fear steal your life one unspoken word at a time. Your voice is your power. Your truth is your weapon. Use it, speak it, live it, and never, ever let fear silence you again. Pain is something no one escapes. Every single one of us will be hurt, betrayed, rejected, disappointed, and tested. That's life. But what separates those who rise from those who stay broken is not the absence of pain. It's what they choose to do with it. You can let pain define you, or you can let pain refine you. You can let it crush you, or you can let it carve you into someone stronger, sharper, wiser. The difference between staying stuck and moving forward comes down to one choice. Do you use your pain as an excuse, or do you use it as fuel? Too many people let pain turn them into victims. They replay their wounds, they rehearse their failures, they build their identity around their suffering, and before they know it, pain becomes their story, their label, their prison. But here's the truth, pain was never meant to be a life sentence. It was meant to be a lesson. It was meant to shape you, to teach you, to show you what you're made of. The question is, are you willing to let it? Turning pain into power means refusing to waste your suffering. If you've been betrayed, don't just stay bitter. Use that betrayal to sharpen your discernment. If you failed, don't just collapse. Use that failure to build resilience. If you've been rejected, don't just hide. Use that rejection to discover your true worth. Every scar you carry has the potential to be a source of strength, but only if you choose to see it that way. Pain has a way of showing you who you really are. When life strips you down, when everything you relied on is taken away, what's left? That's where your real character is revealed. Anyone can look strong when everything is easy, but real power is forged in the fire of adversity. Real leaders are born in the moments when everything falls apart, and they choose to rise anyway. You don't inspire people by pretending you've never been hurt. You inspire them by showing how you refused to stay down when you were. Leading by example doesn't mean being perfect. It doesn't mean never struggling, never falling, never doubting. Leading by example means showing up anyway. It means letting people see that pain didn't destroy you, that you kept going when it would have been easier to quit. Because when others see you rise out of the same pain they're drowning in, you give them hope that they can rise too. Think about it. The people you respect most, the people who inspire you, are not the ones who had it easy. They're the ones who fought battles, who overcame obstacles, who stood tall in the middle of storms. They're the ones who turned their wounds into wisdom, their setbacks into comebacks. You don't respect someone because their life was effortless. You respect them because their life was hard and they rose above it. And that's what makes their leadership real. Pain can make you selfish if you let it. It can make you close off, shut down, harden your heart. Or pain can make you selfless. It can make you more compassionate, more understanding, more willing to help others. When you've been through fire, you can either come out burned and bitter, or you can come out with the light to guide others through theirs. That's the choice. And when you choose the latter, you're not just surviving, you're leading. Stop waiting for your life to be perfect before you step up and lead. Stop telling yourself, I'll inspire people once I've healed completely, once I've figured it all out, once everything is in order. That day will never come. You don't need to be flawless to lead. You just need to be real. People connect with real. They connect with authenticity, with vulnerability, with the raw truth of someone who admits, yes, I've been hurt, but I didn't give up. That's what gives your words weight. That's what makes your actions powerful. Your pain is not a weakness. It's evidence that you've lived, that you've fought, that you've endured. It's proof that you're stronger than you think. Stop hiding it like it's something to be ashamed of. Stop pretending it doesn't exist. Instead, own it. Use it. Show the world that you didn't just go through pain, you grew through it. And in doing so, you become someone others can look to, someone who doesn't just talk about strength, but embodies it. Every hardship, every loss, every heartbreak has the potential to become part of your legacy. Not the legacy of your suffering, but the legacy of your strength. Imagine what could happen if you decided right now that your pain would not be wasted. Imagine who you could inspire if you decided to lead with your scars instead of hiding them. Imagine how many lives you could change simply by refusing to let pain have the last word. So yes, pain will come. It's unavoidable. But what's also true is this. You are not powerless. You get to choose whether pain becomes your prison or your platform. You get to choose whether it breaks you or builds you. And when you choose to turn pain into power, you not only transform your own life, you give others permission to transform theirs. That's leadership. That's impact. That's living a life that means something. So, don't just endure pain. Don't just survive it. Rise from it. Use it. Lead with it. Show the world that pain may have tested you, but it never defeated you. And in doing so, you will become the kind of leader this world desperately needs. Not one who talks about strength, but one who lives it. Life will always test you. People will doubt you. Situations will challenge you. And fear will try to silence you. But you are not here to live small. You are not here to play the role that others wrote for you. You are here to lead your life with courage, with clarity, and with conviction. Standing up for yourself is not about being loud, it's about being unshakable. It's about saying, I matter, my voice matters, my choices matter. No one is coming to hand you the life you dream of. You must claim it. You must fight for it. You must take ownership and lead it every single day. Do not let pain break you. Use it to sharpen you. Do not let fear silence you. Use it to push you forward. Do not let doubt chain you. Prove it wrong by your actions. Leadership is not a title you wear. It is the way you live. When you rise, others rise. When you show strength, others find strength. When you stand tall, you give permission for others to stand tall too. That is how change begins. Not in the world out there, but in the decision you make right here, right now. So make the choice. Stand up for yourself. Refuse to be small. Refuse to live on someone else's terms. Refuse to give your power away. Lead your life with discipline, with courage, and with unshakable self-respect. And when people look back at your story, let it be clear, you did not wait to be saved. You became the leader of your own destiny. The time is now. The power is in you. Lead your life.